This video is the third video in a three-part series about automating the professional development request form using Google Apps. In the first video, we learned about how to create a multi-page Google form that would redirect users to pages based on their role in the approval process. In the second video, we learned how to use Google Sheets along with CopyDown and Formule to automate the email route system. In this video, we'll learn how to use Google Sheets and the Google Sheets add-on autoCrat to automatically create PD confirmation sheets. So in my district, this was the bottom sheet that we would always get in triplicate once a request has been approved. We now can automate that process and digitally email that copy out to the teacher, saving time and paper. To get started, we need to create a template for this request form. To do that, we're going to open up Google Docs. So here I am in my Google Doc template of the professional development request confirmation page. And what I did here, I just created a little template with every field that I need filled out on this form. All of these fields are associated with a question on the PD request application. And notice that next to the field, so here applicant's first name, I have double carets and then the word first. What that's going to do is that will match with a tag on my spreadsheet and pull in the contents of the cell I tell it to onto this sheet. So we'll go through and create every field we need in addition to any other information that you want on the form. So I always throw the district logo on here and a few other pieces of information reminding applicants to enter their sub on the ASOP for a sub, and then a few other reminders that we have as well. My goal was to keep this down to one page, but it kind of bled over to a second page. So that's my first step. I created a template in a Google Doc, nothing fancy, and I just have to make sure that any field that I want to pull over from the spreadsheet, I put around the double carets. So I went ahead and made two templates. One would be a template for anyone who's requesting a PO, and one would be a template for anyone who doesn't need a PO. So that would be an example of someone who just needs a sub to PLC or needs a sub to go visit another district. They would get a separate template than this one. And the only real difference there is on the no PO, I left out the whole section about expense estimates. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head back over to the Google Sheet with all of our data, and we're going to add autoCrat and set it up to run this mail merge. Back in the spreadsheet, you need to make sure that you have installed the Google Sheets add-on autoCrat. If you haven't done so, just click Add-ons, Get Add-ons, and search for autoCrat. I already have it installed, so I'll just come over here to autoCrat and click Launch. And I'm going to go ahead, and I already made this on here once, but I'll go ahead and remake it. I'm going to click New Merge Job, and once I get here, I'm going to go ahead and choose the template that I already made. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Template, and I'm just going to search for the template that I made. I'll hit Select. Once the template loads, and if your network's anything like mine, it'll take a couple seconds, we'll go ahead and name our merge job. And you're the only one who will see the name to this merge. And I'll hit Set. And once that loads up, you'll first need to select the sheet that contains your merge data. So that's Form Responses 1 in this case. And then you'll see the tags over here. So these on the left are all the tags that I created. Then on the right, you see Sheet Header. This will be the column header that I want to pull into that tag. So for first, I'm looking for first name, last name, so on and so forth, all the way down the line. One thing I'd like to point out before I move on to the merge details is down here at the bottom, I put a few items on here for who approved the PD request at each level, the building, the district, and if needed, superintendent. Typically on our triplicate forms, obviously we had those folks physically sign the forms, but since we don't have that here, we're using their approval password. If you remember back to the Google form, they had to write their name, give their approval, and then type their approval password. So we just put here the name of the person who approved it, and that acts as their signature. So we'll go ahead and hit save and move on to the next step in our merge. So here we're going to go ahead and name the file. So when I name the file, I just go ahead and use these tags up here, the $ tags as placeholders. So when I'm copying and pasting these tags into the file name, I'm just going to put in last name, first name, name of event, and PD confirmation at the end. And what that'll do, that will just help these when they live in my drive, it'll make them easier to find. So the next thing I need to do is select the type of file I want to create, and I always do PDF. And then I'm going to check this box that says email and/or share merge documents. So I'm going to email them to the applicant. So I'll look for applicant email address, and I'll just paste that in there. And then if there are multiple applicants, I'll just separate them with commas and paste those other applicant email addresses in there. Then I'm also going to send this to the building principal. So I'll use the tag for building email. And then the PD director will get a copy as well. So I'll email the PD, I'll put the PD director in here too. The subject will just be PO and PD request confirmation, and then we'll just pull the tag in for the name of the event. Then I'm going to go ahead and type a little message to the recipients, and that'll include any reminders that I need to give them about what to do once their professional development request has been approved. For us, that includes registering for the event with a PO, requesting a sub, and submitting a copy of their registration to the PD request email address. Then I'm going to go ahead and include the merge document as, and I always select PDF file attachment because I think that looks a little bit more professional than a Google Doc. Then we'll head on down to the advanced settings, and we need to look at the conditional merge options. So that means it'll only merge if this is true. So I need to go through here, and these are all the column headings in my Google Sheet. And for this one, so since this template will only be sent out if we have an approved PD request with a purchase order number, I'm going to look for the tag, what is the purchase order number the applicant can use to pay for this registration? And that's something that our finance person will fill out. So we'll put that, and if it equals not null, so if there's something in that item, autoCrat will run. Then we'll go ahead and add a folder destination so that all of these PD requests live in the same folder. Once I've done that, I'll need to share this folder with anyone who needs access to those PD confirmations. So that would include the PD director, the C&I director, and some folks over in the business offices as well. If you want to use a secondary folder, you can do that as well. Then I simply need to check Run autoCrat when new forms are submitted, hit save, and then I'll sit back and let autoCrat do all the work. autoCrat has a whole bunch of different uses when we're thinking about automating school workflows and automating classrooms. Some other things that we have started using autoCrat for, I have some teachers who use it to automate scoring guides and fill out Google Forms and plug them into scoring guides, and then we're also starting to use them for certificate creation too. You can use autoCrat with any Google Sheets or Google Docs template. This wraps up the 3-part series on automating your school's workflow using Google Apps. Thanks for your time and have a great day.